Okay, good morning, all of you. So welcome back to DevOps Sessions. So let me share my screen first. Okay, Docker. So today we are going to start Docker. Already day one we are completed, right? So anyone has any questions? So yesterday I have already shared the inventory document. Okay. How many times I need to recap on Docker day one? I think 2 times then. Okay. Tell me first. Okay, before Docker, I need to check inventory, dynamic inventory. How many of you completed? Offline? No one? Hmm? Error. What was the error? Inventory topic is pending, sir. Yesterday I have already shared the very detailed notes with the screenshots. If you are unable to complete, if you are in any project, no one share the document like that along with the screenshot. They will give just content, you need to do that. Okay. So whatever we discuss 7 days or 6 days on the Ansible, with that experience, you need to complete that. The task, that's what I have given. How many of you completed or not? Completed or not? Online? Did you check or not at least the document? Only Ramesh? Online? Okay. Today morning only done. Anyway, you done, right? Okay. Let me explain the document. What was the error here? Fail to connect host. So you are able to get the details of no inventory, right? So if you are unable to connect means it's a SSH issue, not inventory issue. If you are unable to pull the inventory details so that you can check where the exactly issue is. Okay. If you can see the above error, fail to connect the host via SSH means you are able to get the details. Okay. It's coming like this. Hmm? Okay, guys. So I have given everything in the screenshot, right? What is the challenge here? You tell me first. Launch the instance. Is there any challenge in this step? Hmm? Okay. The next step is what we need to attach a role. Okay. Otherwise, you need to configure the keys. So I have given administrator access. Okay. If you can see, I have a two nodes here. One is main. One is main means Ansible. One is node, host node. And next, how to install Ansible, how to install Python, how to install pip. So guys, the back end of the dynamic inventory will work based on the Python. Okay, for that you need to install Python. Anyway, whenever you can install Ansible, Python also will come, right? So we need to install Boto3. If in Python, if you want to install any third-party dependencies, we need to use pip command in Python. So like Maven, we have a Pomlet XML, right? In the Pomlet XML dependencies is there, right? If you can run the goals by using MVN, the required dependencies will come. For the Python, we have a pip. So same thing in Python dependencies, we need to add to requirement.txt. I will explain the Docker file in the Python. If you add requirement.txt, all the required dependencies, pip will install all the dependencies while executing the code Python. Okay. Anyway, so here the Boto3 is required. Boto3 concept is pending. I will explain in that. So the Boto3 is required the background. Anyway, the required dependencies, these are. You need to install first. And next one is, as we know, this is Amazon.aws plugin is required to work with that, your dynamic inventory. Why? So in dynamic inventory, it is a static inventory. We are adding all the IPs, private IPs, hard coded, right? So no need to talk with your inventory file of AWS environment. You are taking the private IP, you are updating into the inventory means it will just call directly private IP. It will not go and check. For example, in the private inventory, static inventory, if any new instance is created in your the same region, it will not add automatically. You have to take the IP and again add into your static inventory. But dynamic inventory is not like that. Whenever you can create instances, it will call every instance in that inventory list. For that, we need to add some tag. For example, region wise it is calling means we need to define some tag. Otherwise, it will call all instances. If you not define any tag, it will call all instances. Okay. Irfan, I think my end is clear. Can you please check your end? What about others? Online team? Is that same issue for everyone? Okay, Irfan, please check your end once. Okay. So the Ansible document, if you can go through the document, I have already updated link in that. Anyway, else you can Google it will come. Yeah, here is there. So this is Ansible official document, guys. In official document, what they are saying, uh, to perform this task, we need to run Ansible Galaxy collection. So to perform the task, we need to run the Ansible Galaxy collection install Amazon.aws. This is a plugin. This plugin we need to install to perform the dynamic inventory task. So same thing I have added in my document. So, but by default, it will come along with the Ansible. To check first you are in Ansible Galaxy collection list. If you are able to get the Amazon.aws, no need to install. Anyway, if you run second time also, it will come already there in your list. So ignore it. No problem, right? So now the next step is, so after install Ansible collection, install Amazon.aws, you are able to see all requested collection are already installed in your end. Till here, clear? Any doubts? Clear? So this concept, you know, right? SSH key gen. Whenever you can generate a key, we are able to see public and private key. Now we need to go ansible.config file and paste below data. So this is for what? Whenever you install plugin, right, we need to add into your config.file to active that plugin. You have installed, to active that process, you need to add into the config file. So any plugins, any information, if you want to say to Ansible, you need to add into the config file. Already we have added host key checking equal to false. Same thing you can add enable plugin equal to AWS. At this time, just ignore this step. I will discuss. The next step is so enable plugin equal to AWS, host key checking equal to false. You know, right? Just inventory step, ignore it this time. I will explain that. And next one is, yeah, if you can see that ec2.yaml. So we need to create one AML files. In the AML files, we need to define what you are calling from your ec2 console. This AML file will decide which tag instance you are going to call, how many instances you are going to call. I mean, this is the main configuration with your AWS environment. So whatever plugin you have installed, with that plugin, see plugin amazon.aws.aws-ec2. This plugin we have installed, right? By using that plugin, we are calling our existing resources from the region. So for example, if your region is US East 1, so you have updated the region means it will call specific region only. If you want to call multiple region, add the list, next region, next region, next region. It will call all the regions. Okay. And next filters equal to tag name equal to dev. So I mean, in your tag dev means it will call only dev tag instances only. Maybe in your project, different instance also there, right? So at that case, it will call only dev instance, dev tag instance. If the tag is changed, if you want to change the tag, you can change here also. For example, other instance also you want to call, you can define the tag name, you can add in the list. You know one thing, this tag will update while auto scaling create from the launch template. The launch template, if you can add a tag, all instances will create from the same tag. Okay. So here our key file, whatever public key file we are going to use with launch template option, it will come the same public key, right? Now, if you are coming the same public key means, and instance also will create same tag name if you are going with the launch template. If it is the same tagline, automatically it will add into your dynamic history, dynamic list. Okay. So here, if you can see, plugin amazon.aws.aws-ec2 regions US East 1. If you just give this two only, you will get all instance details. Again, I'm applying the filter. Filter, my tag name equal to dev, only call that instance. Understand? My tag name equal to dev, only call that instance, not for all the instances. This is the requirement, right? So in your region, other instance also will run, right? Not only for Ansible. So if case is not like that, it will call all instances. This is not a correct case, right? So we need to add the tag here. So whenever you add the tag, so if you run Ansible all -mping, we are able to see the details. Understand? We're able to see the node details. How? If you can see again, come here. This file name is what? This file name I have created aws-ec2.aml. In the YAML, you need to copy this script, right? So again, come here. The second step, what we need ignore, you need to add in the step. Inventory equal to dot means current directory. In current directory, there is a aws-ec2.aml. Take the inventory configuration from that file. So that file will pull the details from AWS. Is this clear? So here we need to understand one thing, guys. My inventory path is current directory. I mean, aws-ec2.aml is the current directory. If you can create any directory, you need to define the path here. That is very important step. Otherwise, you will get a error, unable to pass the inventory. Okay, so what you need to do, if you create an inventory file, sorry, if you create an AML file inside config file, I mean Ansible /Ansible.config file, right? Inside Ansible, if you create means you can give current directory. Otherwise, if it want to go back directory dot or same directory, you can copy paste, give the pwd command, copy the path and give it here. That is completely your wish where you are going to create this AML file. but you need to define the path. Your inventory will call this YAML file only. Clear? Okay. See, this is for host equal to all. If you can see here, this is host equal to all. How can I say that this is host equal to all? Is there any groups here? No groups, right? So in an inventory file, we have a two type of options. We can call a group or we can call everything. If it is a group means we are going to create a groups in the inventory file, static inventory file. If it is a dev, if it is a test, whatever it is, we are going to add our private IP list in that, right? Individual groups. But in this dynamic inventory, how we can call the groups? Simple. So this is our main reference of YAML file, right? In this YAML file, you can add one more filter as a group. This filter is to tag name of the dev, right? You can add one more filter as a group. I mean, whatever you are going to call the list from the existing EC2 instances, it will convert into different groups. For example, if you add a tag equal to my dev instance all created in dev group, my test instance all created in test group, you can segregate it. Okay. This is for all. I'm not defining any groups here. Just simply call my instances if it is a tag is there in the dev. That's it. It's the same requirement. If you can see, filter tag name equal to dev. Tag name equal to dev means what? If you can go to instances, so I'm going to create a, for example, Docker. Here my tag is what? Docker. That's it, right? Name equal to Docker. It will come under your dynamic inventory list. If it is a different tag, it will not come into your dynamic inventory list. Your dynamic inventory list tag equal to what? Dev. But here tag equal to Docker. So it will not call. Understand? But sir, how in real time same tag will come? See, our agent is what? Auto scaling is going to add your instances, right? Auto scaling is going to add your instances means the primary reference for auto scaling is what? Launch template. In your launch template, we can add our entire template list into that, right? It will call from the template. In the launch template, we can add the tag also, right? So same tag will come. Yes, everyone do the practice of Ansible, but no one will practice a dynamic inventory. You can check in everywhere. That's what I'm, prepare the document also for your future reference. Yes, exactly, Madhuri. So my tag is what? Dev. If you can click on this, if you can come tags here, see my name equal to Docker. If you want to add, so this instance, if you want to add into your inventory after that, for example, what you can do, simply you can come manage tags. Here you can change the dev, or you can add custom name also. In this case, name already there, right? We should not use name. One key name, two different values, not possible, right? So what we can do, you can create an env environment equal to dev. In this case, your inventory will be in place of name, env will come. Value, whatever you can give. Like that, we can do it. Okay. Now, see, whenever you add the list, so if you give the ping command, or if you can give inventory-aws.yml, I'm calling this inventory YAML file, we are able to say list of hosts here. I mean, we are able to call the list of hosts. Okay. The same thing, if you can go here in the graph wise also, we can see just for different commands. See now, if you can see, I'm going to create a Ansible playbook now. In this Ansible playbook, hosts equal to what? All. I'm calling all dev related information, bro. So here I'm not, no need to define any groups. I'm not creating any groups. I'm calling all the instances. So all the means whichever instances are matched with the tag, it will. Okay. Okay. So if you can see, this is the first Next one is we are able to get the details. So next one is groups. In the groups, we can add key hyphen groups. Key hyphen groups equal to key tag name, prefix tag name, separator. This is just for to call it only. If you can see group equal to dev, my dev tag name. Whenever dev tag name is coming, it is going to go under dev group. If you can define here test group, okay. If you're defined to test group, dev instance, all tags dev instance go into the test group. Okay. If you create a prod group, all prod information related, all dev information related instance are going to the prod environment. Like that we can. This is group. Okay. If it is a group means there is a mistake here. Don't copy paste directly. Okay. 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 So now if you can see here, this is commented. The previous stage is commented. I'm calling all right. To prove that, I'm just created a group here. In this group, my group name is dev. My tag name also dev. You can give different also, no problem. You can give group name, but here no need to. Here you have to define exactly what is the tag name. But group is your wish. Group, you are not mentioning anything in your EC2 instances, right? EC2 instance only tag name will be there. So now I'm just giving here ping command. I'm able to get the tag hyphen name equal hyphen name dev. This is the key name. So if you can see here, whenever I'm going to create a first playbook, you need to define here tag hyphen name hyphen dev. Why? If you can see in the my group list, see my prefix equal to tag hyphen name hyphen your group. Tag hyphen name is a common word. It is a prefix and your group will be added. Test means tag hyphen name test. Why? To get a unique. That's what we are going to give like a prefix. Okay. And tag hyphen name test, tag hyphen name prod. That where you need to define, here you need to define the group. So if you define like that means whenever you can give the graph command, we are able to see this is your tag related EC2 instance that is created in dev group. If I give list command to get details group in added instance, we are able to see the tag list. This is for just all list. Okay. If AWS EC2 means there is no any group. It's a by default calling all instances. If you are able to see tag hyphen name hyphen dev, if a group name is dev, you can see the group related information EC2 instances. Okay. So I'm going to create a deployment. If you can use host equal to all, it will call all instances in your region, which is same tag name. If it is a group, whatever instance you are grouping into that in your inventory group, it will call the specific group only. My prefix equal to tag hyphen name hyphen dev here. Is this clear? That's it. So you need to do practice. Still, if you are facing any issue, tomorrow I will show you again. This is very in detail document, guys. Okay, nowhere, if you can go anywhere, you can check it. Okay. I spent my time for 3.5 hours for this night. Okay, Saturday night. The reason is the dynamic inventory is nowhere is available. You can go and check in YouTube's or any documents. It's a different style they are giving, very complex one. This is the easiest one. Okay. So if you ignore this, I don't have any issue, but you are missing one content, unique content, which is not available in anywhere. So we need to more focus, which is not available in anywhere only, right? If everything is available, how to create S3 bucket, if you can come and ask, any person will tell. If you can ask how to add the dynamic inventory, no one can. That is the difference. You need to show that the unique difference, you and other people, right? That's what. Anyway, is this clear? Still anyone has doubt? Any doubt? Okay. So I'm giving one more chance to you to complete this task tomorrow. Okay, depends on your interest only. In future exercise I'm going to do the documents, otherwise I will not. I will explain simply like this only. Okay, the reason is my 4 hours time is very valuable, you don't know that. If I spend 4 hours for my project, I get so many things in that my project, but I don't have time to do that, but I'm spending here. Okay, because of you only. Don't waste my time. If you're not practice means indirectly wasting my time only. I know this concept, why I need to prepare the document for you only. Okay, so future whatever coming classes, if any complex things are there, I'm going to prepare the documents for your reference. Okay, otherwise these topics definitely will forget after 1 week. How to call dynamic inventory, what we need to install, where we need to configure, this is not an easy task. Okay, so please do it. Whoever completed, please support to others also. Even if you can ask, mentors also don't know this concept. This is very clear. Yesterday I connected with mentors to explain this topic 1.5 hour. Because again you can ask them, if they don't have, again situation comes back, right? That's what I connected yesterday, the people, and after that I'm giving to you. Okay, okay, complete this, guys. So still having any issues, no problem, you can ping the error. We can, and errors also we can. Yes, if you're getting any error now, just document the error also for your reference. Anyway, in interviews common question, one of the question, what type of errors you face, how did you clear, rectify that issues. This is common question for any interview. So at that time what you need to do, take a complex situation, create a complex situation at that time. Yes, this is a complex exercise what I'm going to practice at that time. I'm facing so many issues, so I'll just check one by one, like that I have rectified the issue. If I ask what are the issues you have faced, and if you interview, while creating S3 bucket, I face one issue. The bucket name should be unique. If you can say that, they can easily understand you are in first standard only. Okay, don't take that exercise. Examples, creation S3 bucket, creation EC2 instance. That is everyone knows, right? If you take a dynamic inventory challenge, that is no one knows. You can go and check. Very, very small people who are there in the real time, people only, they know these concepts. Like this concept, you need to pick to explain that, right? Even interviewers also showing interest. Okay, this is little advanced one. This is good one at least. Don't say like ABCD is creating S3 bucket, already name is exist. This type of errors, if you can say, that is not at all good in even DevOps engineers. Okay, so track the errors. Yeah, that's all for dynamic inventory file. You guys are asking, sir, please provide dynamic inventory concept. I provided, then your interest now. So what you need to do first, complete after this complete one, delete everything, do it from automate process everything, public key, and this one also. Understand? If you create Ansible node by using, okay, don't go with Terraform first, go with for manual process. First create Ansible node. Okay, the project is first create Ansible node and create one more node. Copy the key from here to here, or do one thing. Create instance normally, copy key there. From there, create AMI. Configure to, if you configure launch template also, I'm well and fine, but you need to define again auto scaling group and all. Okay, no need to go in that. Create AMI. From the AMI, create 2-3 instances. Just simply we can give the count only, right? In that count, auto scaling will give in the real time, but you are giving here. From the AMI, while creating instance, you can just define a keys. Count 1 or 2 or 3. Your motto is what? The 3 instances will come the same tag name. So you need to define that. The same tag name will give launch template, right? Otherwise, you can do one thing, that AMI you can configure with launch template. From the launch template, you can create instances, 3 instances. So don't forget to define your tag name in the launch template. Otherwise, instances will come empty name. If you give tag name in the launch template, it will create same instances, same tag name. But here AMI is after copy the key, right? After paste the key, right? So launch template created 3 instances will come the same public keys for all the instances and the same tag name. Same public key means your Ansible is able to ping, right? And your Ansible is able to get the list for our instances. If you create 3, 4, 5, 6, whenever any command you can run, Ansible command, any playbook will run. No need to define any inventory, no need to copy paste everything. Just start your work. Whenever instance is created, start your Ansible work. There is no any manual work here. Understand? No need to copy paste your key. No need to take your private API into inventory file. Whenever instances are created, immediately it will comes under your Ansible control. To get an Ansible control, we need a public key. That is AMI will take care. And a tag name, that is launch template is take care. Is this clear? Yeah. Any doubt? If you are having any doubt, I will explain one more time what you need to do. Yeah. So this is spoon feeding we are in now. If I give the screenshot document, we are in the spoon feeding. So if you are able to complete this task and coming documents, I will change a little difference. I mean, I'm not update launch instance. I like this fix you won't expect. Directly I will go the concept like that. You are in the first stage, right? If you are able to complete like this 3-4 documents, then we can go for next concept like that. Okay. So this is for your task. If you're unable to complete, do let me know. I don't have any problem to repeat this class for one day. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Chalo guys. We have to define tag name if they are different, right? Yes. If they're different means, I don't know your question. Anyway, the tag name will come with your launch template. If you, for example, there is a one project, guys. The project is, for example, IRCTC project. So if you need a 5 instances, the 5 instances need means whenever traffic is more, that is auto scaling is taking care, create a 5 instances. Your 5 instances, same application or different application? Same application, same region, why different tags? Is this clear now? So same tags that is taken care by launch template. If it is a different tags, that's what we are creating groups here again. So two concept is covered here. I know question will come from you. That's what I have added groups concept also here. If different regions, you can add in the regions list, one more region you can add. Everything clear here. So for your reference, go for the official document from where I prepared this document. So multi-region, you can define like this, okay? So keyed groups I have taken from this reference, okay? Anyway, I'll just, so I'm going to update here. Sorry. Okay, I'm going to update here. Okay, guys. So now come to the main topic. That's it. Same tag, different region also. It is possible, right? Your auto scaling, if you want to, if you need a high availability concept, you can go with that, right? Yeah. Let's go for paint. Any questions on dynamic inventory and keys concept? Okay. So now everything you have to do it. Okay. The requirement is clear or anything, any different, any deviations here? If not clear, I will explain in the paint what you need to do. Online team, is it clear? My requirement is clear. Okay. Let's come to Docker now. Okay. Let's come to Docker. So I think already we have completed 1 or 2 classes on the Docker. So just small recap on Docker now. So what is Docker? Why Docker? So why Docker, guys? Simple question. Why Docker? Hmm? Online team, why Docker? Why Docker? Simple question. Image creation to save space, to pull image, container creation, image creation. Yes, utilizations. Okay. to reduce the space. Okay, next answer. What? Dependency isolation. Yeah, very good. So guys, so okay, Docker is for, it's a runtime tool. Okay, Docker is a runtime tool. So the Docker, we can, by using Docker, yes, very good. We can host multiple applications on the same node. How it is possible? So the whatever images we are creating from the Docker, so the images are having very less space required for that. So if the same image, if you can go with the virtualization concept, we have to pull the image at least, I mean, create image at least 8 GB, 12 GB, 8, like that it will come. But that image contains all the default dependencies, but Docker image contains, there is no any dependencies. Already we ran the command ps minus ps-aq. At that time we have already seen, right? The number of processor running in the EC2 instance is close to 100 plus, but it's a Docker is only 1 or 2. The reason, no dependencies. Clear? Perfect. Okay. So Docker, so first I'm going to show you how to create a Docker account also. So already we know the basic commands of Docker, right? So what are the basic commands? To pull the image, Docker pull image. Whenever image is pulled into your system, I mean EC2 node, so we need to run that image. How to run? Docker run image. If you want to enable specific port number, Docker run image -p. So here Docker run -dt detach terminal and -p. Here if you can see localhost port, first one is, and second one is container port, that is target port, right? Container port. And next one is what? Your image name. Yeah. Okay, if you can see local host port means what? So your instance is running on top of the instance, containers are running, right? Okay. So the meaning is public is here. So here containers are running. The containers port is the application port, right? Container port is application port. For example, sample HTTPD application. What is the port number? 80 or Jenkins 8080. So here 80 is what here? Application is running here. 80 is comes here under here. This is container. Is this clear? So, but if you want to give access for this application to public, it has to cross your node first, EC2 instance, right? So that's what we are going to enable for the EC2 node, specific any port number. So if you're not enabled, your request will come and stay here only. Here there is no port means, enable means for your node. So whenever you can enable the port number here, local host, this is local host means host mission. So if you can give any port number here, no problem. You can give 81, any port number just for our reference. Okay. So whenever you can give this request, the request is coming here and enable this port and go to access. Is this clear now? Okay. This is what port concept by enabling port. And we can, but usually we are giving access through which service to public? Load balancer, right? So there is a Docker Swarm, yes, concept, but that concept is that concept is not support for complex application. That's what we are going with Kubernetes. So here, what Kubernetes will do, I will tell you one more time here. Okay. So yeah, if you can see, you can give access Docker container port by using localhost port number, but your container also running now. If you want to give access, you have only option enable the localhost port number. You can give it, right? But finally, we should not give any port number or IP to access public. How to access this? IP and localhost port number here, right? Localhost port number. So this is not at all good practice to give our IP to public. Clear? If you want to access this, you have to define, you have to give this IP address and port number or configure with any DNS name. That is not a good practice. So if you can give means it should stick on only one EC2 instance. If Docker will create multiple containers, problem will come again. Understand? So for that, what we are doing, we are creating the we are giving this control to Kubernetes. So this will come from where, guys? This container will come from where? This container will come from where? Docker image. That image you pull from Docker, or you can prepare by using Docker file, whatever it is. So whenever you can create a containers, the containers you have to give access for local host and like this way. But if you can create a instead of from the Docker run, this will come what after Docker run only, right? Try to understand these concepts are very, very important in the interviews also. If you can give Docker run, containers will create from the images. So your images are stored in Docker Hub, private registry, not for public registry. Or we are using ECR, Docker private registry, or ECR, Elastic Container Registry. Understand? This is AWS service. If you are doing project in AWS environment, we are going to use ECR. If it is Azure, Azure Container Registry, GCP, GCP Container Registry. Okay. And Docker is a traditional registry. I mean, it's not related for any cloud. We can add our Docker into the any clouds, communications, configurations. So you can push these images into your Docker private registry or ECR. Two options. So now, if you run from here, containers will create. So till here, this is integration part. Build Docker file and push image into ECR or push image into Docker Hub. Sorry, yeah, Docker private registry. This is called integration. Whenever code difference will come, any code difference will come, Docker file will build that changes. Whenever Docker file build, image will create that image again, you can push it into ECR or private registry. This is integration part. Image release, images release, either JFrog or Sonar or ACR, sorry, ECR or Docker private registry. Wherever you just push the images. And next deployment will start from your images. Take the image, create a container, give the access. This is deployment. So in this deployment, so Docker image creation is what? So what I'm trying to say here, very important, please focus here. Okay, this is GitHub. Okay, and next Docker file and Docker build. Okay. Okay, otherwise I will And next is push to ECR. So if you can see here, your developers push their code into GitHub. Okay. So whenever push the code into GitHub, so you need your Docker, you need to run a Docker file. The Docker file already your source code, everything is there, right? So whenever build this Docker file, whenever build this Docker file, what will create? Image will create. So once you Docker build, image will create. This image, we can push it into ECR or artifact. Artifacts, we don't have any license. It's a paid version. So go with ECR or private registry. So yes, if you can go maybe ECR. This is integration part. So our jar file is integration release, right? So if you can deploy any Tomcat server, that is deployment. So here integration means image release instead of jar file. Okay. So now this is comes under one pipeline. Okay. One pipeline. So one pipeline, Jenkins integration, CI job. No deployment, right? Here. Jenkins integration part. Okay. Now, if you want to deploy, yeah. If you want to deploy this image, we need to run an image. Run a Docker image, run an image from here, containers will create. If you are using Kubernetes, pods will create. I mean, whatever containers I'm saying that it is a pods. Okay. If it is a Kubernetes. Pods will create. Inside pod, container will be there. Inside container, application will be there. Is this clear? So we need to understand one thing here. Do I need to run Docker run command? Not required. Yes. Do I need to run any Docker run command? So this 1 month, we are going to learn these concepts. Okay. So this is very high level. If you know this very high level understanding, it's very easy next process and all. So now, do I need to run Docker command, Docker run command or not? Not required. These are not Docker containers. These are pods. Inside pods, container will be there. So runtime is Docker runtime, but is Kubernetes control, it is taken care. So here, we need to understand instead of run, Kubernetes apply command will run. apply image. Kubernetes, apply command. Whenever apply command, create a pods. If a Docker run, if it is a Docker run, pod will not create, container will create. I mean, the whatever the layer is there, the abstraction layer of the container, it will not come if you run a Docker run. Is this clear? So if you run Kubernetes apply command, whatever the source image is there, pods will create. Okay, by running the image by using Kubernetes, pods will create. By running the image by using Docker run, containers will create. But if you run a Docker, the container app, both will come. Two stages won't be there. If you run a Kubernetes, one more layer is added additionally. That is pods. Clear now? So there is a concept in Kubernetes we can give access to public by using load balancer. Okay. And what we can do here, our Docker run command is not required to run, right? Simply we can go with the Kubernetes. But what we can do, our image as expected, whatever deployed from the source code, it is correct or not, we can run the Docker run command. We can check locally. We are not going to give access to public, right? Just check locally to give the enable the host port, and before deploy the application into Kubernetes, you can check your application is running or not. Understand? Internal verification. Yes, as expected, it is working fine. Then you can configure with your Kubernetes. And in your pipeline, don't run Docker run command. Understand? So this is Jenkins integration. Next Jenkins, this is what? Deployment. Jenkins deployment. So which job it is? CD job. Okay. CD. This is CI. So now you tell me guys, if new changes is coming onto your code, immediately pipeline will trigger. How? Webhook. Whenever pipeline will run, so Docker file run the update changes, source code update changes. This image is a fresh image. I mean latest tag. This image push to ECR or Docker private registry. Whenever image is pushed, if you are using same pipeline, it is going to deploy into Kubernetes. If it is the same pipeline. Yes, we are using same pipeline. But nowadays, many of the organizations are using not CI/CD. Sorry, not a CD for Jenkins. We are not using Jenkins as a CD. We are using Argo CD as a CD. Okay. So here, Jenkins, we are using only CI configurations. CD, either Jenkins or Argo. This is also very important concept. If you go in depth, again, unique skill, Argo CD. Okay. So what we can do in our project, we can do entire process by using Jenkins first. CI/CD with the Jenkins. And later we can implement the same project by using Argo CD of the CD. We can see the difference. Okay, here and there. Okay. So, and whenever you deploy application, we can monitor this application, the metrics and all. We are using Grafana Prometheus monitoring tool. And we are going to use one more concept that is a little tricky concept, not a little, it's a very tricky concept. That is a EFK stack. EFK stack means Elasticsearch, okay, Fluentbit, and Kubernetes. Means what? There is a configuration required for all the pods. It will get the pod information into your UI. So we can see when the pod is started, when the pod is stopped, what are the logs of the pod, everything we can see in the UI. That is very difficult. I mean, I'm not recommended for you after complete your training, after complete your Kubernetes classes, If you are interested, you can go with that. Otherwise, leave it, no problem. Even if you can go any organization, they are not straightforward give the task to you. Okay, the seniors are there, but you need to understand the concept. I will explain how to understand the concept, but I'll run the project also here. But in your case, you need to understand what are the steps behind in that. For that, I have implemented one document. Okay, I have tested with our mentors also 3-4 times from the last 3 days. It is working fine. Okay, I'm going to give the document also for you for your future reference. Okay, that is very, very important, guys. EFK stack, very advanced one, it's very difficult one also. Yeah, AWS code build. If you can go with AWS code build, Jenkins not required. Okay. If you go with GitLab, Jenkins not required. GitHub Actions, Jenkins not required. So many tools we have. Bamboo we have. Circle integration. So many things we have. But here we are learning Jenkins since most of the organizations are working with Jenkins. That's what. Okay. That your interest. Okay. That where you need to focus more. That your interest. Even though, guys, if you give any interview to any company, they will consider if their work is more on AWS code build also, you are from Jenkins also, they will easily hire you. There is no problem. So the student, what they can understand, at least this guy knows one process, one tool configuration, same tool, same process for everywhere. Other tools also. Little changes will come in the UI only, but the approach and everything is same. So if they say, do you have any experience on AWS code build? Since I have a Jenkins experience, for me, there is no challenge to learn AWS code build. I think it is for matter of days only. Mostly 2-3 days is enough for to understand code build. Since I have a good knowledge in Jenkins. So as we know, we have a much time to join in your organization. There is a notice period time, right? 1 month, 2 months. So in this gap, definitely I will explore more things on the AWS code build, make it ready myself to handle my task in our organization. This is the simple answer. Understand? They can easily understand. See, if you give any interview, there is a time for you 1 month or 2 months. So what you need to do, you need to ask them exactly on which tools I need to work. They are not saying work for all 13 tools or 12 tools. No, it's not like that, guys. As per the requirement, maybe you need to work with only Jenkins or only AWS or only something. If they say 2, 3, 4 tools mainly, this 2 months you can go little depth on the 4 tools. Remaining tools just park aside. Understand what I'm trying to say? To go little depth, first you need to learn all the tools. For example, you don't know what is Kubernetes. You don't know what is Kubernetes. If they ask you to work with Kubernetes, make it yourself, go in a very advanced. So you don't know what is what. So how can you go in that? So here we already complete Kubernetes in 80% level. So remaining 20% is not applicable for you also. I will try to give even. So with that knowledge, if they can give 1 week time is fine. No need to spend 2 months even. Understand? Like that, you need to manage your skills. Okay? Yeah. No one can ask, come to office from tomorrow. That is not possible. For your BJV, it will take 15 days. So even if you're like something, you can apply, ask sometime, 1 month time also they will give. If the interview and everything is good, they will give 1 month, 2 months time also. That you need to manage. In that time, you can go very better. But once you go organization, simple you can do simple things also. But make it yourself ready. Unnecessarily don't take chances. Clear? Yeah. This agenda is clear or any questions on this? What you need to do for the coming 30 days. So here Grafana monitor is coming, Argo CD is coming, and the EFK stack will come. So whatever. Is this clear everyone, right? Okay. Who will provide Docker file? You need to write Docker file. No one will provide Docker file. Okay. I mean, Docker files already there. You do some modifications. That's it. You and developers closely work with Docker file. Both responsibilities, not only your responsibility. They need to say what are the dependencies required. So both can work Docker file. It's not only for only developers tool, not only for DevOps tool. It's a combination of developers and DevOps. No, pods also having IP, but it is not going to connect from the external. There is a service concept in Kubernetes. Okay, in the service we need to enable pods will not directly contact with external. It's a pods will create internal IPs, not for external IPs. So are we going to connect from the private IP from the external? No, to give, can we give access for private IP? No, same thing. The pods created IPs are internal IPs, not for external IPs. Clear? If you want to give access, there is a concept service. We can discuss there. Anyway, so this is a concept of Docker and Kubernetes, very high level. So, okay, let's start and install Docker into my instance. Okay. So your task is to complete dynamic inventory today at any cost. Okay. I know you guys are busy with your work, but even. So what happened? Why it is not connected? Okay, this is internal is connected. Huh? So next week, as I said, I'm going to plan a conduct a test for AWS. Okay. DevOps is practice, guys. Without practice, it's very difficult. Okay. Hands-on is very important in the DevOps. We can install here also or here also, no problem. Okay. So how to install Docker first? M install Docker -y. This command will install the Docker. Okay. Is this clear, everyone? So if you can go Docker version. So Docker version. So I'm able to see. If you give Docker version only instead of -, only client is running, but Docker daemon is not running, right? Okay. For that, what I need to do? Start the Docker. How to start? Systemctl. Start Docker. Huh? Yes. So if you can go Docker version now, you can see server also. I mean Docker daemon also working fine now. So now you can give Docker pull command. The request is go to Docker server and it will pull the things. Already I have explained the architecture of Docker, right? You remember, right? Yeah. So now if I go for su EC2 user, I'm an EC2 user. Can I run Docker pull here? Okay, Docker pull some nginx image. Permission denied, right? For that, what we need to do? Docker group. For the Docker group, who will create? System will create, right? System users, these are. How to check? Where should I go and check my Docker group? Via etc group. See, Docker is there, EC2 user is there. So if the Docker commands by default will run root. If you want to run with EC2 user, add this group into that. Tell me how to run. What is the command? User mode or ch mode? User mode. User mode. Hmm. Docker. Is this correct, guys? -a, -g also, you can give -ag also. Is this clear? Is this correct, everyone? Yeah. What? So T2 micro effect added. Next, to apply these changes immediately, we need to run one more command. Right? What is that command? User grep. So where is my Docker? This is Ansible. Hmm. So ch this command we need to run. Okay, and you grep Docker for immediate changes. Otherwise, it will not update sometimes. So EC2 Docker, EC2 user added to Docker group, right? That's what I'm saying that command new grp or new grp, only grp. Docker. Okay. Now you can run EC2 user Docker pull nginx. See, now permission granted. Why? I have added into the EC2 user group. Like that, we need to do it. Is this clear installation process? Anyone has any doubt? No, right? So now I have installed one image, right? Sorry, pull one image. How to check? Docker images. So nginx latest. So this tag automatically it is added the latest version if you're not defining anything. So now I want to check my image details. What is the command? Image details. There is a one command that is container boss, not an image. Once you run a image, container will create. Still, I'm not running container, right? Very good. Docker inspect. If you practice day one notes I have shared, right? Okay. Okay. Docker inspect image nginx. So these are the image details. Pull from where, so which network it is working. See if you can see here, created image, the time and all. So this is the path, env path, nginx version, provider end. This is the command. So maintainer is nginx docker main. See if you can see, maintainers is nginx docker maintainers. You directly taking ready-made image, right? Nginx. You haven't installed it, you haven't taken a Ubuntu OS and installed in Nginx. That is custom image. But you are taking directly Nginx image. Otherwise, we can take a Ubuntu OS or CentOS OS. On top of that, you can install Nginx. You can create your custom image. But you are taking direct image, Nginx. So it's a maintaining by Docker maintainers. So OS is Linux, size is this one. And yeah, these are the different network and related. These are the information. Okay, like that. And my image is Docker images. So my image is there, right? Now, if I want to run image as a container, I need a container to give access. What I need to do? Docker run. If I give -IT, what happened? You are going to insert, you are going to enter into the inside container. Not required. If it is a go here, detach mode. Now what I need to do? To give the port access. Now localhost, you can give any port number, right? 81 or 82, whatever. Here, actual port. This is container port inside container port. So we have to enable the actual application. See what I'm trying to say. For example, Jenkins, the port number is 8080. Whenever you can give 8080 on it, it's accessible. The default port number application. If you want to change it. Same HTTP also default port is there, right? So that is running on the port. So your container, your application running in that port inside the container. To give access, we need to enable that port number. Otherwise, the access will not come, right? Next, Nginx. See, container is created, right? Container is created. What are the commands, guys? To check Docker PS. It's a running container. This is container ID, image, command. I will explain what is command in the Docker file. We'll get a clarity. Created 11 seconds ago. Status up to 9 seconds ago. This is port is configure. See to here. That is 82. You have enabled. This is what? Princeless Franklin. I don't know who is this. By default, image container name is by default assign any scientist names or something. Okay. How to change them? I think you know, right? Yeah. If you give hyphen name will come in the command. So Docker PS command is to show running containers. Understand? So, or if you want to check the all stopped containers, sorry, running plus stopped containers, PS hyphen A. What is this? All started and stopped also. Even though my end only one container is there. So both times I'm able to see. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull one more image. So Docker pull HTTPD. Now Docker images. So HTTPD is there, right? How to run? Docker run. So I'm going to use Docker run HTTP directly. I'm not giving any Docker run -dt. Just I'm giving HTTP only. I'm not enable any port and all. So container is created, right? So now you can go on check. I'm able to see two containers are running, but one container is not giving access any port. So if I want to stop, how to stop? Docker stop. You can give a container ID. I'm going to give HTTPD, right? It's a stop. How do I know? If you can give Docker PS, I'm able to see only one container is running. If I give Docker PS -a, both can see. But I want to check the stopped containers. How to give? Docker PS, okay. -a means again. Okay, give the grep command only, guys. Grep exist. Okay, let me check the command. Exited, I think. Exit only. Oh, sorry. I need to give PS-a, right? PS-a what? All inside exit commands list. Yeah, exit, sorry. Copy. Yeah, correct. Maybe. Okay. Capital X. My command also capital X, huh? Yeah, capital X. Case sends to this one also. So we can see only stopped containers list. If I give Docker PS-a, both in the PS-a, you can give grep exit command, right? Exit means in that already if you stop means it is exit, right? So that we can check. Yeah, capital E. Is this clear? So how to check running containers, how to check stopped containers, how to check both containers. Okay. How to give access. Okay. How to stop. See, if you want to go with, there is a list of commands not required. How to pass, we can give Docker pass container. It will pass for temporarily, not stop. Like that we can do it. Is this clear, everyone? Okay. So now there is a one more command, Docker logs. See, if you can give Docker logs container ID. Okay. If you can see, let me check the command. Docker logs. So, okay. So Docker logs container ID. So we can check the container logs. So when it is created, when it is stopped, like inspect command for image. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So for example, I'm going to give next container ID. We can understand the difference. Running this one. So we can give container ID also, container name also. If you can define hyphen name, we can see the container name also. See, this is the logs of my this one. So this is fully qualified domain. We can see this. So method and version and process is start work process. This is not start work process. This is stopped condition, the previous one. So this is start work condition, which Linux, OS, and everything is there. We can see like a Docker image inspect command. Okay. So Docker logs, Docker logs container ID. That's it. Anyway, these are for, I'm using just only existing images, right? We can write our own image also. That is comes under Docker files. Is this clear? So how to remove image? How to remove image? Docker RMI, Docker images first. Okay, Docker RMI, yes, image name. Okay, so we can forcefully remove. How to remove it? Hyphen. So we can use hyphen for, otherwise we have a list of commands to stop, say delete containers and delete. So danger commands. I have updated to danger commands. So if you give -4, it's going to delete, right? And RMA image name. If it is a stopped containers, we can remove directly. Running containers, we can give the -F. So like that we can. This is HTTPD. If I give F, deleted. Okay. So normally also we can delete or -F for forceful. And if you want to delete all images, also we have a command, but don't use that anyway. Docker system prune -A. If you give remove all images, same Docker containers prune, delete all stopped containers. Okay. Docker rm-f, Docker ps-a-q, delete all running containers. So better to don't use these commands, but in your case, you can practice it, but don't habituate these commands. So if I give now, for example, this command, Docker rm-f ps-a-q, everything will be deleted. So if I give Docker ps, nothing is there. running container, stop, everything will be clear here. Same thing, Docker prune, Docker images prune system -a will delete all images. Is this clear? Docker images, if you can see now, I'm able to see this image, right? So if you can give this command, Docker system prune -a, it will delete all images. Yes, deleted everything. So my environment is clear now. No images, no containers. Is this clear? Deleted is not possible record image. Rajat, we need to do some configuration back and by default it will not come. Clear? So this is for Docker. And tomorrow we are going to start Docker file. That is very, very important. So what I'm going to plan? So Docker file for Python, Docker file for Node.js, Docker file for Spring Boot. So we can plan like the Java Spring Boot. So in our so if there is a Python project, no, so definitely we need to follow the Docker file Python. Like that we can prepare. Okay. So if anyone asks, everyone is stick on Maven only. It is not only Maven, right? If any Python project also Maven will not work. If any Node.js project, same Maven will not work. Node.js, npm build will come, Python, pip will come for install the dependencies. Different process, right? So we can learn like that. Three major Docker files, Python, Node.js. Accordingly, we can do the projects also three variations. Same, if any source code will come, same process we need to follow. Python project, like this follow. And again, when Docker file is completed, and next process is same for any project, any source code. We don't have any. So push to ECR, there is no any changes will come with along the source code. I mean, different programming languages, there is no dependency, right? Push the image is the same process. Deploy Kubernetes, same process. Give access, same process. Process will will come only Docker file. Clear? We can discuss tomorrow. So today our work, you know, right? What you need to do? Complete the dynamic inventory, practice the Docker images. I will share that. I think I have already shared the notes, right? Docker day one. Anyway, I'll share it one more time. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. Bye. Clear, guys? Online team, any challenges? Okay. Thank you.